Right, so we're going to have a look at now how we can cut out an image. There's various different ways we can do this, but the way I'm going to use is through the selection tools and making another layer. So the selection tool I'm going to look at is across here, and it's called the quick selection tool. So I'm going to select the tool. Now in my control bar up here, we know all of this is relevant to this tool. Okay, so this context sensitive control bar says I change selection tools, these options change. So the main thing with the quick selection tool is we want this little plus button turned on, so that means every time we click we're going to add to the selection. And the next important thing is the size of the actual brush head. So if I roll over my screen there, you can see as I increase that, it's bigger, and obviously the bigger it is the more I'll select, and the smaller it is the less sensitive it becomes. So I want to find a reasonable size for this one, so that should do me. So basically I just start to click and you can see it will add in to that selection. It's automatically sensing the edges. Okay, so it's a very intuitive tool. It will find the edges of our parrot. Now let's come around here. Now as the contrast becomes a bit less here, we might have a few problems. Let's see how this works. Not too bad. Okay, but what I'm going to do is zoom in to this little section down here, because I think it's going to be a bit too difficult to select. So I'm going to swap over to my lasso tool. Now if I press my shift key whilst using the lasso tool, I will actually add to this selection. Okay, if I didn't have my shift key pressed down, I'd be making a new one, but with the shift key pressed, I'm just adding to this selection. So I'm coming around here, let go, so you can now have got a really good selection coming around. So these little bits here, like I can still tweak these with my lasso tool, again pressing the shift key. Just grab these extra little bits just to really refine this selection here. Excellent. Okay, so I've got a really good selection running around this parrot. Now at the moment, if I just copy and paste, it's going to be quite a sharp cutout. So what I'm going to do first is click on this refine edge button in my control bar up here. So I click refine edge, and what this does gives us various options just to soften the edge of the selection. So see at the minute it's quite a sharp cutout. We can change the preview if we want to see what it looks like there. So blacks, maybe I can see a little bit better there. So I can feather it a little bit so you can see. If I go extreme, it's a bit too much, but just a little bit of feathering, contrast, shift the edge in, which is quite useful there. It kind of chokes the image in a little bit, smooth it, a little bit more feathering maybe. Okay, just gives us a much more natural feel on that cutout. So I'm just going to output it to selection here. There are other options. In fact, I'll put it to a new layer. Okay, so I'll output this to a new layer and click OK. So now you can see in my layers panel, I've got my background layer and background copy, which is this nicely cut out parrot. So let's go across to another image. So just select all of this image, edit, copy, edit, and paste, and just drop that layer down. So see I've got a nicely cut out parrot on a new background. Obviously I can swap that background to be whatever I want. So this is one of many ways we can really cut things out depending on the type of image that we've got, and I will be doing some more videos showing various alternatives again for different types of image.